Welcome to a journey through time where we uncover the hidden gems of history, forgotten inventions that could have changed the world. We're talking about those brilliant sparks of ingenuity that, for one reason or another, got lost in the pages of time. Did you know some inventions were so far ahead of their time that the world just wasn't ready for them? Join me as we dust off the blueprints, crank up the Wayback Machine, and explore these incredible feats of engineering. We're going to get our hands dirty, separate fact from fiction, and uncover the stories behind these forgotten marvels. Get ready to have your mind blown, because some of these inventions are so ingenious, so unbelievable, that you'll be left wondering, why didn't I think of that? Let's go. Okay, picture this. It's 1822, and Charles Babbage, this brilliant eccentric mathematician, dreams up a machine. Not just any machine, but a machine that can crunch numbers, automatically with incredible precision. He calls it the difference engine. Now this thing was a beast. Gears, levers, cogs. It was basically a steam-powered calculator the size of a room. Babbage envisioned it spitting out tables of logarithms and astronomical data, freeing mathematicians from tedious calculations. Can you imagine? No more slide rules, no more human error, but here's the catch. The technology to build something this complex just wasn't there yet. Imagine trying to explain microchips and processors to someone who's never even seen a light bulb. Despite the setbacks, Babbage was relentless. He spent years refining his design, even coming up with an even more ambitious machine called the analytical engine. This thing was basically a programmable computer, a full century before the first electronic computers were even a glimmer in someone's eye. Sadly, neither the difference engine nor the analytical engine were fully realized in Babbage's lifetime. Funding dried up, the technology wasn't there, and people just didn't quite grasp the magnitude of what he was trying to achieve. But here's the thing about forgotten inventions. Their ideas often live on. Babbage's work laid the groundwork for the computers we have today. He's considered by many to be the father of the computer, even if his own creations never left the drawing board. We all know the story of the Wright brothers, right? Two bicycle mechanics who dared to dream of flight. But what if I told you they weren't the first? That history is full of unsung heroes who tasted the sky long before that famous day at Kitty Hawk. Take Clement Ader, a French engineer who in 1890 built a bat-like contraption called the Éole. This steam-powered marvel actually lifted off the ground, albeit briefly, achieving a hop of about 20 centimeters. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Then there's Hiram Maxim, the inventor of the machine gun. Yeah, that guy. Turns out he was also obsessed with flight. In 1894, he built a massive steam-powered plane with a 104-foot wingspan. It was so powerful that during a test run, it actually lifted off its tracks, proving that a machine that heavy could fly. And we can't forget about Gustav Whitehead, a German-born immigrant to the United States who, some claim, flew a heavier-than-air machine as early as 1901, 2 years before the Wright brothers. Evidence is sketchy, but some believe he may have actually flown over a distance of half a mile. So why don't we hear about these pioneers? Well, some of it comes down to documentation. The Wright brothers were meticulous record keepers, while others not so much. And then there's the matter of control. Many early flying machines were practically uncontrollable, more like glorified kites than airplanes. But the point is, the dream of flight was alive and well long before the Wright brothers made history. These forgotten inventors paved the way, pushing the boundaries of what was possible and inspiring countless others to reach for the skies. Anti-gravity. It's the holy grail of science fiction, the dream of defying one of the most fundamental forces in the universe. And while we haven't quite cracked the code yet, it turns out people have been trying to cheat gravity for centuries. In the late 19th century, a wave of anti-gravity inventions swept through the scientific community. These weren't your backyard tinkerers either. We're talking about respected scientists and engineers, convinced they were on the verge of a breakthrough. One such inventor was Thomas Townsend Brown, an American who claimed to have discovered a link between electricity and gravity. His invention, the gravitator, used high-voltage electricity to supposedly generate a mysterious force that could lift objects. Then there was John Searle, an Englishman who, in the 1950s, claimed to have built a device called the Searle Effect Generator, SEG. This spinning disc contraption supposedly used rotating magnets to create its own gravitational field, allowing it to levitate and even generate electricity. Now, I'm not saying these inventions actually worked. In fact, many of them have been debunked or remain shrouded in controversy. But what's fascinating is the sheer audacity of the ideas. These inventors weren't afraid to challenge conventional thinking, to push the boundaries of what was considered possible. While their inventions may not have led to true anti-gravity, they sparked imaginations and inspired generations of scientists and engineers to keep searching for that elusive breakthrough. Who knows, maybe someday we'll look back at these early pioneers as the ones who dared to dream the impossible. Invention at its heart is about pushing boundaries, exploring the unknown, but sometimes those explorations lead us down dark alleys, uncovering inventions deemed too dangerous, too disruptive, or just too far ahead of their time. Take Nikola Tesla, the brilliant but eccentric inventor who dreamed of a world powered by wireless electricity. His vision was breathtaking. Imagine a world without power lines where energy could be transmitted through the air itself. But Tesla's ideas were met with resistance, particularly from those who profited from the existing power grid. Some even whisper that his research was sabotaged, his inventions buried to protect powerful interests. And then there's the legend of the Philadelphia experiment. This alleged military experiment, said to have taken place in 1943, aimed to render a US Navy destroyer invisible to radar, but rumors persist that something went terribly wrong. The ship, the USS Eldridge, was not only said to have vanished from Philadelphia's harbor, but reappeared in Norfolk, Virginia, hundreds of miles away, before returning to Philadelphia in a flash of light. The stories get even wilder, with tales of crew members fused to the metal of the ship, driven mad by the experience. The official stance is that the experiment never happened, but the legend persists, fueled by conspiracy theories and the tantalizing possibility of teleportation technology hidden from public view. These stories, whether true or embellished over time, remind us that invention doesn't exist in a vacuum. There are always forces at play, economic, political, even ethical, that can determine whether an invention sees the light of day or is relegated to the shadows. It makes you wonder what other groundbreaking inventions might be hidden away, deemed too dangerous or disruptive for the world to handle. Sometimes the most important inventions aren't the flashiest or the most well-known. They're the ones that quietly improve our lives, often without us even realizing it. These are the unsung heroes of innovation, the forgotten discoveries that deserve their moment in the spotlight. Take Dr. Ignaz Semmelweis, a Hungarian physician working in Vienna in the mid-1800s. At the time, childbirth was a dangerous affair, with many women dying from a mysterious illness known as childbed fever. Semmelweis made a simple yet revolutionary observation. Doctors who wash their hands before delivering babies had significantly lower mortality rates among their patients. He urged his colleagues to adopt this practice, but his ideas were met with resistance and ridicule. The medical establishment simply couldn't fathom that something as simple as hand washing could make such a difference. Tragically, Semmelweis's discovery was largely ignored during his lifetime, and countless women continued to die needlessly. Then there's the story of Alice Parker, an African-American inventor who in 1919 patented a design for a gas-powered central heating system. Her invention was a game-changer, offering a more efficient and controllable way to heat homes than traditional fireplaces or stoves. Despite the brilliance of her design, Parker faced significant challenges as a black woman inventor in the early 20th century. Her invention, though groundbreaking, was never fully realized during her lifetime. These are just two examples of the countless forgotten discoveries that have shaped our world. They remind us that innovation can come from unexpected places and that even the simplest ideas can have a profound impact. It's up to us to remember these pioneers, to celebrate their ingenuity and to ensure that their contributions are never forgotten. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey through the annals of forgotten history. From the steam-powered calculations of Babbage's difference engine to the daring dreams of early flight enthusiasts, we've uncovered inventions that were both ingenious and ahead of their time. While some of these inventions never quite got off the ground and others were shrouded in controversy or lost to the shadows, they all share a common thread: the relentless pursuit of progress, the audacity to imagine a different future. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing stories. And the next time you stumble upon a seemingly outlandish idea, remember the forgotten inventors who dared to dream big, reminding us that sometimes the most incredible discoveries are just waiting to be rediscovered.